Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. For some time ago, I created a video where I uploaded and downloaded files to an SFTP site with Spring integration, and then I got a question from one in the community, and there was actually several people who actually asked how could I create the folders that we need when the Spring Boot application starts up. And that is exactly what this video about. I would actually say that I'm not sure that it should be the responsibility of the Spring Boot application to create the folders needed. I think those would already be present. But if you really want the Spring Boot application to create the directories, then of course it is possible. And if you look at the application that we had here last time, then we had a messaging gateway where we had a request channel where we could upload a file, and then we had this REST controller where we received some content, and then we uploaded the file right here. And then we had an upload configuration right here where we created a default SFTP session factory. This was not a bean. I've just created a bean right now. That's what I did just before starting this video right here. And then it would not be injected before. Then I would just call the method up here. That was how it was before. Now I'm injecting the bean from the default session factory up here. And the reason I'm doing this is because we need to reuse the default session factory in just a minute. But this was the configuration that we set up the last time. And as you can see right here, we had a folder named upload. I just added that top secret just for fun, because let us say that now we are in another situation where we want to use another folder. We want to use top secret like I just wrote. Instead, how would we solve this problem, right? And let me show you how. First of all, I had a small script right here which actually started up an SFTP Docker container based on the image named SFTP, the Atmos SFTP right there. This was my username and password, and upload was the default folder. So this will be created by default. After starting the script, then I have my Docker SFTP server running on my own machine, and then I can start FileZilla, where I can connect to this local instance, which I have right here. I've checked off. I chose SFTP in the drop-down box. I typed in my username, typed in my password that you just saw just before, and then I press connect, and then I ended up with this view that we have right here. So we only have an upload folder, and F5 is the button to press if you want to check that it's the right view that you're actually getting. Then you get a new list of the directory right there. But let us get started. So what we want to do is actually we want to create a new. We could create a new package right here. Package create folder. Then in here I could create a new service or component, which we could name create folder service like this. Add, and then we annotate this with service like this. And then we create a post construct. That means that whenever this has been initialized, this service right here, then we call the code that we have right here, public void create folders. And here I would like to inject the default SFTP session factory. Default SFTP session factory. We'll name the session factory like this, and here we can write the code post construct like this. Session factory dot get session. Yes, thank you very much. Give me a session. The problem that we actually have right here is that it is not that smart, the SFTP session that we get. If we try to create a directory that is already there, then we get an error 4, as it's called, and we just get an exception, error 4. Of course, we could just catch that and actually just ignore it. That's actually the easiest thing to do. So if you want to go for that approach, then we could create a new method right here, private void, and then we could have this one create folder. So this will create one folder. Then we'll have a string, and this is the path right here. So, and then we would also like to have a SFTP session. Maybe it's a session factory we actually want. So let us just get the factory. Then we can create a new session when an exception is actually being thrown. So let me just get the default SFTP session factory right there. Session factory. So that means that we will actually get our session down here instead. So get session, and then we could actually just create make dir. That's the name of it. Make dir. But yeah. Okay, let us start doing it this way. So make dir, and then we actually give the path with a H in the end, like this. And we actually see right here now a boolean that is if it went okay or not. And then we need to add an exception. So we need to surround this with an exception. And then, of course, we could hide the exception when we get an error. This is not it's not very nice code, but we could just do that. So now we're just printing it out in the log. We can also add SL for J. And then we could say that this is a warning. Log dot is just a warning because the second time we start up our Spring Boot application, then the folders, the directories will be there, and then we will just get a lot of warnings in our log like this. Let me just see, do I need to give a message? Yeah. Directory probably already exists. This is a little bit ugly. It's not very ugly. It's just a little bit ugly. Yeah, you could actually do this if you want to, right? So create folder, and we are actually not using the boolean here to anything. So let us just delete that. We don't care if it went well or not, because then up here in this method right here, then we're going to say create folder. And then we're going to give the path, and the first folder is actually upload. This one already exists, so we will actually get the first exception thrown right here, but we do not know that it exists. Maybe we're using another server where we do not have any control over what's going on there. And then we can create a folder called top secret right there, and then we can have very secret files right here, and Control D again for duplicate line. Then we can have a little bit less secret files there here. Then we can have another folder again, which is like the trash can or something like that. Trash can right there. So now we get this folder also. That means that now we're trying to create a lot of directories, and then a lot of exception will be thrown, but we will only log it as a warning, and we will only get it at startup, because that is when this code is being executed. Let us try to start our application and see what actually happens. So error creating bean, what happened right here? Something with lifecycle annotation, blah, 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 blah. Oh, a non-arc, sorry, I made an error right here. I cannot inject, because this is, when we're using post construct like we are right here, then we cannot inject the beans like this. Then we need, this is the service, so I can just wire in my default session bean up here. It actually makes the code a bit cleaner, so let us just write private final, and then I use Longbox required arcs constructor like this. That means that then we will get automatically a constructor, and we will also automatically get the wiring from Spring by setting this to final right here. Then we'll get a constructor matching it, and Spring will inject it. That also means that now we don't need to pass this on as an argument. And then we have, yeah, of course, now the method signature does not match the execution of the method right here. So let me just fix that. And let us try to run the application again and see what happens now. No such file, blah, blah, blah. What do we get here? Error. Okay, we got an error actually. Oh, I know why we get the error. That's actually something totally different. That's because, isn't it because we need a done folder? Let me just check. Where did we get the error? I'll just go all the way down here. Problem, blah, blah, blah. Let me just check. Upload done. Yes, it's actually because we're actually fetching files from the done directory, but that just means that then we can use this method again, right? Because I just forgot that I need. I'm actually looking in the done directory for files. So that means that while the client is uploading files, they will upload it to the done directory, also the upload directory. When it's done uploading, then it will be moved to the done directory instead. And that is because the server does not know if the client is done uploading the file before the file is actually placed in the done folder. Some people actually also add a metadata file, like a text file, where they say this file is being uploaded right now, .txt. And then when the txt file is gone, then we know that it is done uploading. I like the method where we move the folder to done instead. I like that a bit better. I think it's a bit cleaner. But it's just, of course, it's up to your preference how to deal with the fact that you don't know when the client is done uploading files to the folders. But that was why it could not start up right now. So let's just try to restart. Authentication, blah, blah, blah. Let me just check. We should not have any errors. We should only have warnings. Yes, look, it's just a warning. Directory probably already exists. And then we get this ugly warning right here. Let me just see if I can find it for the exception. There should be something with 4. We should get something SFC. Yes, here it is. Nested exception 4:failure. That is almost always because the directory already exists. It can also be other things. But it's always because it's almost always because it already existed. Yeah. So let us go to the FileZilla right here. Then I will press F5 to see which folders do we have now. We have the done folder, top secret folder. Oh, that contains subfolders also. Less secret, very secret, and trash can. Oh, this is very good. Let us just try it once more because we had some problems in the beginning with the done folder. So let me just delete all of these. I can actually just delete the upload folder actually. Let me just delete it. Yes. And press F5. Now they're all gone except for the upload folder. And let us try to restart the application. And then I will just sit here and press F5 and list the directory. Let me just check that it has been started. Yes, F5. And here we get the folders. Here are the folders. Yes, that's very cool. I'm so happy. This is a cool solution that actually works. And of course, we could solve the problem with the warnings different ways. We could look for the exception and then see, okay, if it's this nested exception is 4:, then we know that it's because the directory is already there. And then if it's another exception, then we could still fail in the program, because there could also be other issues, like we could not, I don't know. But if we want to make it a little bit nicer, we could ask if the file actually exists, and we can have a boolean like this. Boolean, does the folder exist? Does the directory exist? And then we get a path, string path like this. And then we can get the session factory. We could actually reuse the same session actually, but okay, we'll just create a new session here. It's okay. We're wasting some sessions. It's only to begin, so it's only when we're starting up we're wasting the sessions. And if we want to clean up and optimize, then we can do that afterwards. There's one there's named list here, a method named list that we can use. So we'll use that list and then path like this. So here we have the lists for ls entry. I'll just write lists. I'll have IntelliJ created for me for this one. And then we say lists and then and then we get that ls entry. On the ls entry, there's a method get file name that we can use. So here we have the file name, and then we can say if file name, and then we can say equals, ignore case maybe. Oh no, not ignore case. That's a bad idea. Just take equals and then the path. Maybe we could also have a string without the path, because now we have if. Okay, let us say if path.contains file name, this is not a perfect solution. You can create a perfect solution afterwards, but I'm asking if path contains file name. The reason why I do that is because we could have a long path, something like upload slash top secret or something like that, and then the file name itself, the file name or folder, that would actually be equal top secret. So that's why now I just ask, does the path, does that contain this part right here? Then then it's true. It's a little bit wrong because we could of course also have a top secret further up in our hierarchy. But this is how I'm going to solve it right now. So path that contains file name, return true, or else we will return false. Return false in the end. Of course, this part it should be optimized and made a bit nicer. So we can do, maybe you can do that and then give me a pull request if you feel for it. Surround with try catch. Yeah, let us do that. And instead of surround with try catch, I think I'm going to use lumpbox sneaky throws. That means that they don't get a weird lumpbox exception if something goes wrong instead. Then it's really good if you're too lazy to create the throw catch, or if it's especially if it's a situation where the exception actually almost will never happen. Then or you're sure that it will not happen. Then you can use sneaky throws. I'm using it here because I don't want to pollute the code with try catch right now. Yeah, we are cutting some corners, I know that, but as I said before, you are more than welcome to create the code as it should have been written instead. This is just a demonstration of the principles. So first down here in create folder, we will ask, does the folder exist? And then we'll write path. And then we'll say if folder exists, then we just return, then we stop the program right there. We can also log it out so we actually get some output. Let us do that actually. So log.info, the directory already exists. And then the name of the directory like this. Yeah. Yes, let us try to run the program now. We restart the application, see what happens. We already have all the directories, so we should get a lot of the directory already exists. Here we have the output. Does directory already? Okay, upload was not matched actually. Upload was not matched, or maybe none of them were matched. Let me just check. Oh, not done. So there's something wrong. They already exist, but our method did not find that. So does folder already exists? Oh, of course. It needs to be if okay, folder already exists, then we should return. That is actually okay. Let me try to log these informations right here. Log info, file name, bound, plus, and then the file name. And let us add I'm just adding a debug point right there. Then let's try to debug the program and see what the problem is. If path contains file name, then okay. So now here we get it. So here we have the path is uploads. The file name is then trash can. Okay, that's because it goes inside. Of course. It goes one folder. It goes too deep. So I need to give it another argument. So I need to have the string parent right here. So this is the parent folder, and then of course it is the parent folder that we are asking right here. And then we say if then we can ask the path, the full path, right there, and then it should actually work now. Then we need the path, and then we need the parent path. So it means we need string string parent. So this is a parent folder, and then we have the real path that we're trying to create afterwards. So parent, path like this, and that means that the parent should then be slash right there. And as I also said before, of course, this could be much nicer. This is upload, then upload. And then we say upload again, like this. And here we have upload, top secret, and a comma in between right there. And I'm going to copy this. This is the same parent. And here the parent is upload, like this. So upload, and top secret. Yeah, let us try to see if it works now. So I believe it works. So I'm just going to press play instead of pressing debug. But this is how you would create the folders if they do not exist already. So let's just check. Do we have any warnings? No. Our beautiful code. It works. So of course we can always optimize and make it create it a little bit better. So we do not need to give 2 arguments, but just 1 argument, of course. We could just use some string manipulation here, right? So, but that's not what I'm going to do now. I hope I answered your questions. I'm going to write to you on the channel, and then you can please let me know in the comments. Did I solve your problem? Was this enough to help you out with the situation that you were in? Thank you very much for watching, all of you, and have a great evening. I'm going to upload the code as usual. Bye bye.